again. Oh shit. There's 4 of them right there. Oh shit. I better make this quick. I don't know who will see this, if anybody will ever see this, but I'm hoping that my wife will find this eventually, or maybe my daughter will end up out here. And, you know, maybe this will give people an idea of kind of how to survive, how I've been surviving out here for so long. As you probably know by now, the year is 2026, and the UN's agenda for global depopulation and, you know, basically rewilding the United States is what they called it, is under full effect. I've got UN troops all around me right now. I just spotted 4 of them down by my pond down here going toward the north. So I have no idea where they're going or what, but I've been seeing more and more drones, and I've been engaging more and more drones along the way. In fact, about 2 or 3 days ago, I was over scouting around at one of the neighbors' properties, and I took 2 drones down, and I think they're basically, you know, zeroing in on me. They're honing in on where I am, and I always run back here to my property because I know the lay of the land. I know some different hidey holes. I've got some different caches stocked up around the property. In fact, for my wife, go to the top of L field. You'll know what I'm talking about. I've buried a 55-gallon container. It's got some extra stuff in it that you might be needing. It's got some supplies, some bare essentials, some first aid, you know, equipment, stuff like that, and supplies. And it's also, there's some fresh water that's back there that I've already filtered and boiled, so it's ready to drink. If you get in trouble, go back there. If you look around a little bit, you'll find a couple of foxholes that I've put in and hidden. I've buried them with sticks and leaves and stuff so they won't be discovered. But anyway, yeah, it's been a hell of a time the past few years, I guess, since I've seen you. And I don't know that, you know, if you're even alive out there. You know, I don't know how many people are alive. There's rumors that 90% of the people, the population of the United States, at one time over 350 million, 90% have either moved into towns, into these smart cities, these 15-minute cities, where they're connected via Neuralink to the grid. And the New World Order knows every single thing that you're doing, what you're up to, you know, at that moment, what you're thinking about, when you get excited, whatever. They know everything. Big Brother has taken over the world. And this is not just here in the United States. This is all around the world that this is going on. So anyway, I don't guess any of our allies are having a much better time than we are. So everybody's in trouble right now. We're just having to survive with what we have. And when it all went down, my wife was in our suburb house and I was out here on the land, and she got me a message that, you know, warned me that they were rounding people up in our neighborhood. So I never went back to the house. I have no idea where my wife is. I imagine they probably put her in one of the prisons. There's been rumors that they took a women's prison that's right around here and they converted it into a FEMA camp for people that, you know, didn't want to go into the smart cities. So just be warned, if you get spotted by a blue helmet, they're either going to kill you or capture you and take you into a re-education camp. With the end goal being they're going to take you into one of these smart cities and smart grids or whatever they call it, where they can control every aspect of your life. So I guess a lot of people just kind of sold out. They didn't, you know, they didn't put up any fight or anything. They just sold their land. And I guess they were offering really high amounts for the land to try to get people in, but they were paying people in CDBC, this new digital currency, which can track and monitor everything that you do, every transaction you make, stuff like that. So anyway, I suspect my wife was either killed, and I hope not, but she was probably rounded up and probably put in one of these re-education camps. And I'm doing everything I can. I've been scouting around. I have met a few people that are like me. Not very many though. In this 5-mile radius, there are only 2 others that are even remotely close to what we're doing here, just surviving, hiding out, staying out of the radar of the drones, and also out of the satellite views and stuff like that. And the only way that I know to do that is stay under the canopy of the trees, which is fine in the summertime. In the wintertime, it's much harder because all the foliage, falls off, and you just have a lot less canopy covered, a lot less protection from the drone. So my movement is very, very limited in the winter months, and that's been tough because that's when you have to do a lot more work, gathering firewood, hunting is a lot harder, stuff like that. There still are several properties around here that I've been able to go over and get like canned goods and other things that people just left behind, because when they came and gathered people up, they told them they could only take the bare essentials. So people left everything behind. Guns, ammunition. I haven't had any problem with that sort of stuff. But one of the people that I met, one of the other rewild men, I guess we'll call us, the people that are living out here in the rewild zone, you're not supposed to be out here at all. No human activity is supposed to be happening out here. And that's why they're running the drones around and running the UN soldiers up and down the roads looking for people. And so I'm sure they spotted me. I'm sure they got, some footage before I was able to take the drones down, because I thought there was only one. So I engaged the one that I saw, and I didn't know it, but there was one up over the hill that popped up as soon as I started firing at the first drone. And so I know they got a good visual image of me, what I look like, how I'm dressed, what I'm carrying, stuff like that. So that's really freaking me out, and I've been feeling additional pressure on this area ever since that happened, because that house I'm talking about is only 3 properties over from where I live here. So it's not very far away, and they've been kind of triangulating my positions and stuff. So I'm losing my ability to hide out and stay under their radar, out of the satellite imagery and stuff like that. So one thing that's great is I still have plenty of ammo for my AR, because when I came over here that day, I didn't know anything was going down, and I brought my AR, and I brought several guns actually. I brought my 590, I brought my Glock, I brought Mosin Nagant, which is actually a really good, powerful round that I want to have that around. But yeah, anyway, I brought 4 or 5 guns total, and I've got several of those stashed out in different caches. And basically what I did was I took a 55-gallon drum with one of the reusable sealable lids that has the the latch on it that you can close it up and keep it dry, and I buried that stuff as deep as I could, where there's only about 6 or 8 inches of the barrel sticking out of the top of the ground. And I found a sandy location, buried it where it was fairly easy for me to bury there, and I spread the dirt all around so it didn't look like anyone had been digging. And then after that, I came across with branches and leaves and stuff like that and made it look as undisturbed as I possibly could. And so I don't go in there very often because I don't want to beat a trail over to that cache, but I've got several of them around. So in case I get pinned down somewhere on my property, I can always fall back to one of my caches and I'll get more, guns, ammo, food, water, whatever I might need, medical supplies, stuff like that. So I think that's really important for whoever's out here, whoever comes after me. I hope that, helps you out. But food and stuff like that has been a little bit of an issue. Now, like I said, there's lots of canned goods around and stuff, but like finding wildlife and things has been a little bit of an issue. I did get a couple of squirrel earlier this week, and that was great. I've been getting lots of fish out of the pond, but again, I'm kind of an open target when I'm out there along the pond bank, so that's been difficult. I can only go out there at dusk or dawn when the light is real low, so I can't go out there in the middle of the day because that seems to be when the most drone activity is taking place. So this building we're in here, my wife and I, we're actually going to tear this down and just try to recycle as much of the wood as we could and stuff like that. And we've actually just been using it for dry storage for now because it's probably rat infested. I know there's mice in here, roaches, things like that. Although there's not a lot of food crumbs, so there's not really many roaches. It's mostly rats and mice and stuff. I still have my dog. He's over there taking a rest right now. He's getting pretty old, so he has to rest quite often. But yeah, we've been just trying to keep our spirits up the best we can under the circumstances, which are very desperate. You know, I went from being able to have air conditioning and, you know, flipping a switch on a wall to having to try to live off whatever I can find, you know. And I'll tell you the truth, I ate a skunk about a week ago. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but once I cleaned it and I got I just basically cut the whole bottom end off of the thing and just ate the upper portion of the thing because I was so worried about the scent glands ruining the meat. But honestly, it was pretty good. I would say it's better than greasy possum for sure. So if you have a choice, if you can find some skunk, that's not a great meal, but it's not as good as steak, obviously, but it's better than starving. The pond's still full of fish as of right now. So, and we've got clean water down there that, you know, you do need to boil it, and you need to make sure you boil it for plenty of time, because if you don't boil it for like about 10 minutes or so, you can get sick. I ended up getting a light case of dysentery, basically diarrhea and vomiting and stuff like that. I couldn't hold food down for 2 or 3 days because I got in a rush and I only boiled the water for like 3 minutes because I started hearing drone activity and I had to quickly put the fire out and get the hell out of Dodge. So I've got several locations around this property that are relatively safe. For one, don't overlook the ditches and stuff like that. So if you've got gullies and ditches around, use those like foxholes. They're a great way to travel around the property, stay out of the radar of the drones and the satellites and other people that might be looking through a scope and stuff like that, because it hides your movement down there, and it gives you a great firing position if you do have to engage. But let's talk about engagement for a minute. You know, I mean, I've got plenty of ammo because I haven't been engaging very much. I've engaged several drones, but otherwise, as far as people, UN blue helmets, I haven't engaged any of them because they're always in such great numbers. There's no way that one guy with an AR-15 is going to be able to do anything against 20 or 30 UN soldiers. So, as I was saying a moment ago, there are 4 or 5 of them out here walking north, and I saw them actually. You guys can't see it, but I saw through the window over there them continue on that way. So I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're going to that property that I was last spotted at up the road here, about 3 properties over. I don't know. But when I get out of here, when I shut the video down, I'm going to go out back and sneak down through the woods and try to get over to the pond and do some fishing this evening. But I don't know, because they walked right by the pond. They could very well come back through there. So I don't know if I'll be able to do any of that tonight or not. So it's just every day is a struggle. The most minor things and scratches and scrapes and things like that can get infected because I'm not able to keep my hygiene up to the same level. Obviously, I'm not getting a shower a day like I used to get in the suburbs and stuff. So I can only shower, and really not shower at all. I can only bathe whenever I get a chance to go down to the pond. And that's a very vulnerable time because now you're stripping all your gear down. You know, I don't get in the pond with my AR, obviously, so I have to set that up against a tree and strip all down, get naked, you're very vulnerable in that time. So I've been getting a shower I've been getting a bath down in the pond about every, 3 to 5 days, just depending on what kind of pressure I'm getting put on me over here. But I do have some sandbags and stuff that I've put up around here, but I don't want to make it look too fortified because, that's a dead giveaway that you've been doing something over there. Even inside of here, this couch here is so disgusting. I don't want to lay on it or sleep on it or anything. So if I'm going to sit on a chair or anything, I put down some plastic. And then when I'm leaving, I'm trying to sprinkle some dust and stuff on the places that I might have, wiped the dust away and make it look obvious. It looks more obvious that someone had come in here and sit down. So all of those things, you have to cover your tracks, even your footprints out there. When I'm walking through sandier areas, I have to carry a branch behind me and kind of, knock down my footprints just so that, people don't see an obvious, size 10 boot print, that they could just walk right toward my cache or whatever, or wherever my hideout location might be for that day. And one of the keys here to survival is bouncing around a lot. So I'll stay here 1 or 2 days, and then I'll go back, stay in the teepee for 1 or 2 days. And then I've secured one of my neighbor's houses over here. It's a lot nicer setup than this because, it was still being lived in before they left. So I'll go over there and stay for a day or 2. It's quite a bit nicer because they actually have a bed and stuff like that. And it's, no bugs, things like that. It's great. But The bugs and the chiggers, the ticks, the fleas, you know, everything, mosquitoes, everything like that are just basically tearing me a new one every single day. I'm all out of bug spray and stuff. I haven't been able to find any bug spray around here within 5 miles. So hopefully when I go out scouting next time, maybe I can find some kind of DEET, you know, some kind of bug spray, and at least keep the mosquitoes at bay, because that's been hell. I don't really know any, you know, ancient remedies or anything like that for, you know, bug spray, a man-made, you know, DIY bug spray. I don't really know what to do on that, so I've just been getting torn up. And I do have some alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is great. Every night when I'm getting ready to settle down, go to bed, I'll take that rubbing alcohol and just pour a little on my legs and my arms, anywhere I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes, and that seems to help keep the infection down and stuff. And it's been hell. Being out here alone, it's been pretty tough. I mean, I'm super lonely every day. It's very depressing thinking that all your friends are either dead or captured by the New World Order, and it's just something, a psychological side of things that I wasn't really prepared for. Okay, I just saw some movement over here. I think for today I'm going to have to wrap, but hopefully whoever comes along and sees this will at least kind of have a little bit better idea of what's going on around here and how to survive. Never thought it could fall this far, this fast, but here we are, 2026. No more freedom. No more United States of America. Only New World Order slaves. I hope you're doing better than we are out there.